Alright lads, it is the Metagoblin here. Today I'm giving you a video which shall cover the Darth Plagueis theory, or whether it not it is actually a theory, and all the information and possibilities regarding this elusive character. There is also a book about this character, although it's basically published fanfiction, so we can't treat it as the truth. However, it does advocate some interesting theories that we will refer to. So first of all, let's cover the most popular theory and what most people believe about this character. So it's possible that Darth Plagueis was Darth Sidious's master and the person who trained him in the ways of a Sith. Palpatine tells Anakin a story about Plagueis and claims he had the ability to prevent people from dying. People also believe that Plagueis and Sidious used the dark side to impregnate Shmi Skywalker and thus create Anakin Skywalker. But how much of these facts can we fully believe? First of all, it's very clearly declared by the Jedi that before the events of the first film, the Sith had been extinct for over 1,000 years. So it seems unlikely that the Sith kept quiet for that long without doing something evil. So it's possible that Darth Plagueis was not actually alive when he taught Sidious the ways of a Sith. But if he's dead, then how could he have taught Sidious? Well, it's possible that Darth Plagueis appeared as a Force ghost, just like Obi-Wan does to Luke and Qui-Gon does to Obi-Wan. It's even said by Yoda that Qui-Gon could train Obi-Wan as a Force ghost, so this theory seems quite legit. Especially since in The Force Awakens there seems to be this big, old, evil-looking dude in the form of an apparition who appears to Kylo Ren and apparently teaches him, but we don't actually see him in a physical form. But let's look at this story that Palpatine tells Anakin. When I first heard it, I thought it was probably all untrue and just a way to manipulate Anakin into turning to the dark side. So it's possible that Plagueis doesn't actually exist, and maybe Palpatine was taught by someone else, like a rogue Jedi who turned to the dark side before the first film. He actually does mention that his mentor taught him the ways of the Jedi and the Sith. When he tells the story, he also claims how Plagueis was killed in his sleep by his apprentice, and he sees it in a way almost like he had a resentment towards Plagueis, so it kind of makes you believe that Palpatine killed him, like personally. So perhaps Darth Plagueis was actually a rogue Jedi alive previous to the events of the first film, and not a Force ghost, but he wasn't a Force ghost before the first film, but he has become a Force ghost by the time of the seventh film. I mean, this seems quite likely, since Qui-Gon, he did take quite a while for him to turn into a Force ghost. He didn't just turn into a Force ghost after the first film. He, appeared between the third and fourth film, so maybe a similar thing is happening. Now let's look at this other theory that Sidious and Plagueis plotted to create Anakin. I mean, it could be true, but why didn't Sidious and Plagueis take Anakin and train him on their own? Why let him live the life of a slave and be trained as a Jedi? I mean, they didn't know for certain whether Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan were going to stumble across Anakin, because, well, maybe they did, but when Sidious is talking to the Viceroy, he's kind of saying how did you lose them? Where are they? But then again, he does know exactly where they are. He knows Darth Maul goes straight to Tatooine. So maybe they knew. I don't know. Maybe you can argue that. Anyway, let's get on with the actual script. So, I mean, yeah. So why let him live the life of a slave and be trained by a Jedi? I mean, you got to think Plagueis and Sidious are masters of deception. I mean, they managed to completely infiltrate the Senate. So maybe they wanted Anakin to befriend a Jedi and work it to their advantage, but they don't really take massive advantage of it, really. I mean, as soon as they can, they do in a way, because Anakin is, all friendly with the Jedi and stuff, and he kind of goes around and kills them, and yeah, I suppose you can argue that as well. But wouldn't it have been better if he was just taken from birth? Why didn't they just do that? I mean, maybe there's other reasons. It depends what you believe. It's also possible that Anakin was created by the Force without the help of Plagueis and Sidious. I'm not going to say that word that we've all come to hate, and maybe the Force created him to defeat the new presence of a Sith, so kind of like a counter-force. I mean, a prophecy states that Anakin was meant to bring balance in the Force and defeat the Sith. But, I mean, let's focus on that word balance. I wouldn't say balance would mean a galaxy with just Jedi or just Sith. So, I mean, that's the opposite of balance. But you know, that'll be a video for another time. Now, the fact that apparently Plagueis had the ability to prevent people from dying, I mean, I personally reckon it's a bit far-fetched. You know, since I can't see anyone having that kind of power, I reckon it's just a way for Palpatine to manipulate Anakin to turn to the dark side. But, I mean, you can believe what you want. Anyway, lads, tell me what you think in the comment section. You know, the crazier the theory, the better. My name is the Metagoblin, and until my next video, ciao.